Hello guys, welcome back to another tutorial. This time it would be a sunflower pin. Since we're getting close to summer, I thought, we already made a daisy flower pin. Why not a sunflower? For this tutorial, you will need 6-strand embroidery thread in dark brown color and also yellow color. A tiny piece of fabric felt. I'm going to be using yellow since, well, it's the same yellow as the sunflower. You could use whatever color you like since it's gonna be on the back side and you will not be seeing it anyway. You will also need the super glue gel in order to attach the pin to the sunflower. And if you have not used the super glue gel before, please be careful. Like, do not touch your eyes or your mouth and things like that if the gel were to get on your hands. What you can do to remove it is simply use the nail polish remover to just kind of put on your hand if any of the glue got your fingers. Next thing, you will also need the butterfly clutch pin. Since it's kind of small, I'm gonna show you up close how it looks like. You can see how there's the pin part and then there's a backing piece. You'll need both of those. You will also need a needle, just small enough for sewing or cleaning up any tails for the embroidery thread. You will also need here is a 1.5 millimeter hook, a scissors, and lastly just one piece of paper towel so that we can wipe off any excess glue. So before we begin, I just want to let you know that I also have a playlist called Amigurumi 101. In that playlist, it have a lot of the slower paced tutorials. So if you need extra help with certain stitches or getting familiar with a certain techniques, I highly recommend you check that out. For the first round, we're going to start off with the brown embroidery thread. You're simply going to make a new loop. So what you do is you grab the thread and then cross it over. Now hold that intersection piece and fold it down, just like that. Grab your hook, put it under that center piece, and then pull to make a new loop. Now you have to reduce the size of that loop by pulling on the longer end of the thread so that the size of the loop is closer to the size of your hook. Next, we are going to make new chain. You're going to chain 2 times. So put the yarn over hook and then pull through. Yarn over hook again and pull through to make the second chain. Now that you have 2 chains, we are going to make 6 single crochet into that first chain. Just make sure before you proceed that the size of your first chain is not too big, because if it's already big, we're gonna end up having a big hole at the end of round 1. Okay, I'm going to proceed. You're simply going to insert your hook into that first chain like that. And in order to make a single crochet, simply put the yarn over hook and then you're gonna pull that through the loop. You're going to see that you end up with 2 loops. So that's the first one, this is the second one. Now yarn over hook again and then pull through both loops. 1, 2. This is called a single crochet. We just made 1, so we need 5 more. you're going to push your hook back into the middle. You're gonna see like a tiny bit of hole, and then push your hook back. Now let's make a second single crochet. So yarn over hook again and then pull through. Now yarn over hook and pull through both loops. That's a second single crochet. Now let's make a third single crochet. So push your hook into that middle hole, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. That's the third single crochet. We're gonna need 3 more. So push the hook into the middle, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops to make a 4th single crochet. Push the hook into the middle again, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops, and that's a 5th single crochet. Now for the last one, push the hook through the middle, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops to make the 6th single crochet. So now that we're done, you can see that it looks like a circle, and at the end of this round you should have a total of 6 stitches. So each single crochet represents 1 stitch. It's kind of harder to see since this is a dark color yarn, but I'll do my best to count for you. So this stitch right here is the first stitch. This is 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then 6th. So you should be able to see like each of the single crochet that you just made. So that should be 6 in total. Now at the end of round 1, you might see a tiny bit of hole there in the center. What you can do is, you see this short tail in the back, you can hold your piece while pulling on this tail to close the gap. Now it's almost invisible, so you cannot see the hole in the middle. So before we proceed with round 2, I'm going to mark the end of the round. By that, first thing I'm going to do is pause my piece. In order to do that, I'm simply gonna pull my hook like that, so you get like this big loop, so that you can pause without having to worry that it's gonna undo itself. So we're gonna leave that piece aside for a little bit. Now grab a different thread color. We're going to like cut out a short piece. Now as you can see, I'm gonna insert my hook into the very last stitch of the round. So it's gonna be that one over there. I'm gonna insert right under the 2 loops. Grab that piece of yarn, put it over your hook, and then I'm gonna pull it through the loop. I'm gonna hold on one end of the tail so that the other one coming through. So looking something like this. Okay. This is just a marker just so that we can keep track of when, you know, the round start and where it ends, right? Because it's gonna be difficult without having a marker in order to keep track. Okay, so for round 2, you're going to make an increase in each stitch around. An increase basically means you're going to make 2 single crochet in the same stitch, because you're trying to increase or expand your piece, right? Push the hook into the next stitch, just like that. Yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, and pull through both loops to make one single crochet. Okay, this one single crochet right there, I know it's a little bit harder to see since this is dark brown. Then you will push the hook into that same stitch that you pushed the hook into earlier, so that you can make a second single crochet in the same stitch. So right now we have 2 single crochet that we made in the first stitch. In the second stitch of this round, let's push our hook into, and then also make 2 single crochet there. So that's 1, push the hook into that same stitch, make the second single crochet. That's 2. We're going to keep repeating the same sequence until we reach the end of the round. So now I'm on the 3rd stitch. I'm going to make 2 single crochet. So this is 1 single crochet, and then in the same stitch, this is the second single crochet. Now we just need to repeat that 3 more times. So that's 1, and that's the second one, so that's an increase. Now I'm on the 5th stitch. That's 1 single crochet, and then this is the second single crochet. On the last stitch, since I already know where it is, I'm gonna take out that marker for a little bit, just so that I can push my hook through. That's 1 single crochet, and then that's a second single crochet. Okay, I hope you can see this. You can see it's still a circle, but it's a bigger circle since we did the second round. For this round, you should have a total of 12 stitches, and I'm gonna count for you. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then 12. Okay. So since the next part would be the petal, what I'm going to do here is I'm gonna undo that last single crochet for a little bit. Okay. And then push the hook back into that loop. We need to change the color to yellow in order to continue. So you're gonna push that hook into the last stitch of the round, yarn over hook, and then pull through. We're not gonna pull through again to make the single crochet, but instead we're gonna change the color here. So make sure to grab the yellow thread. Alright, just put that piece of yellow thread on top of your hook, and then pull that through both of the loop to complete a single crochet. You can see this, and then you'll notice that there's a lot of going on in the back. What you want to do for now is make sure you hold on to the long piece of the brown color and also the short piece of the yellow color. Kind of, pull it or maybe hold it with a different finger so that it doesn't come on loose. At this point, we're gonna kind of ignore the pieces on the back for now. Just make sure to hold on tight. And we're gonna start making the petal. To do that, you're going to chain 4 times. So yarn over hook and pull through. That's 1 chain, yarn over hook, pull through again. That's 2nd chain, 3rd chain, 4th chain. Alright, so next step is you're going to make 3 single crochet on the chain itself. So when you crochet, you're always gonna skip that first, or the chain closest to the hook, that one, because it's not possible to crochet in it. So on the 2nd chain next to the hook, which is this one, push the hook into it and start making a single crochet. So yarn over hook, pull through, and then yarn over hook, and then pull through both loops. That is a single crochet. On the next chain, make another single crochet. And then on that last chain over there, make 1 more single crochet. Okay, you could see that you just made 3 single crochet, 1, 2, and 3. So that will be your petal. Now you're gonna have to join that petal to your main piece. You're gonna look for the next stitch, the stitch closest to you on like the brown portion. So it's gonna be this one right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push the hook into that next stitch on the brown portion. Here, before we do anything else, we want to make sure that we secure the tail on the back. So what I'm gonna do is gonna put both of the tails that we have been holding on to over the hook. Okay. And now once it's over the hook, let's hold for a little bit more. Next step, you're going to make a slip stitch on that brown stitch. So you're gonna put the yellow yarn over the hook and then pull through. You see how there is 2 loops? You're gonna pull that first loop into the 2nd loop. Just like that. And then you're just gonna repeat the same process to make more petals. To make more petals, you're going to make more chain. So we're gonna repeat the same step as earlier. So you're gonna chain 4 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. On the chains, make 3 single crochet. That's 1 single crochet. That's 2 single crochet. And that's the 3rd single crochet there. Now you're going to look for the next stitch on the brown circle, which is gonna be that one, and then push your hook through. Oopsie, here. Now, since you already secure those tails, you can kind of ignore it for now. You're simply just gonna go ahead and make a slip stitch. So yarn over hook, pull through. You see how there's 2 loops? You're gonna just pull the first loop through the second loop. Alright. So right now, if you don't like how like the rest of the tail is, you know, kind of hanging around there, I'm simply gonna cut off that brown thread so I can put that aside. I'm gonna leave it kind of long for now and then I'll clean it up later. So next I'm gonna show you how to make a third petal, which is basically the same process. We're gonna keep making more petal until we reach the end of this round. So chain 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then make 3 single crochet. One, 2, 3. On the brown circle portion, push the hook into the closest stitch to you. Make a slip stitch by pulling that first loop into the second loop. Okay, here you go. Now we have 3 petals. You're going to continue until you reach the end of this round. By the end of this round, you should have a total of 11 petals, and I'll see you there once you're done with this round. Okay, so now that we have a total of 11 petals, we're going to finish off. Since now we're done with the crochet part of this tutorial, I'm going to leave a little bit of a longer tail so that we can have enough to sew and hide all the tails that we have here. Once you cut the tail, just, you know, push your hook into the loop and then kind of pull it out. In order to clean up the tail, insert this into the needle. If you have a problem inserting into a needle, you can find a needle with a bigger eye hole. Okay, so back to the front. I'm gonna since right now like the pieces I guess popping out to the side, I want to insert the needle back in this way. I simply want this portion to have like a nice clean edge, since that's where we, you know, switch the color. Alright, so I think the front looks very nice and clean. Now we're gonna kind of clean up the back side. What I usually like to do is I will be moving any of the tails that is on the edge to the middle. So since this one is considered to be kind of lined up with the edge, I'm gonna find a spot where I can insert my needle like that and then pull through. You see how right now I'm moving that tail toward the middle. Once it's near the middle, I'm gonna cut it short. Okay, since the middle part is gonna be where we're going to apply the glue, so the tail is gonna be secure regardless. And I'm gonna do kind of like same thing for all of those tail, kind of, you know, move them toward the middle. And then cut it off. Now just 2 more. Alright, so now is all good on the back side and also on the front side as well. Now for the back side, we want to cover it by applying the glue here so that we can put the fabric felt on top. So I'm going to be using that super glue gel, and before you use, just make sure to shake it a lot. And do not try to apply it right away. We want to make sure that it's not too watery the first time you use. So you can kind of see right now on the glue, it looks like a bean. You can kind of try that on the piece of paper first. Make sure it's not too watery. You want it to be, I guess, a little bit sticky, or the shape should kind of hold. You would see like a tiny bean. If that's the case, now we can apply the glue to the center part of the back side. You want to make sure you apply the glue kind of the, I guess, the generous amount. Don't do too little, and too much is not good. How do you know if it's too much? If it's too much, it's gonna kind of seeps into the front and it might change the color of the yarn, so that's bad. So, you know, when in doubt, just don't apply too much. Now, before it dry, you wanna put the fabric right on the back and kind of use your thumb to press together so that it holds, right? Want it to stick together. If when you press it and you feel the glue kind of seeping toward the front, that would mean, you know, you're adding too much glue. Or if it's seeping out of that fabric, then it's gonna be too much. So in my case, I think it's good. Yeah, just kind of press, you know, apply a little bit of pressure until it's dry. You want to make sure it's dry first. And once the glue is dry, just maybe leave it a few minutes, okay? And then we'll come back to it. Okay, so now once the glue is dried, you want to start cutting out the excess felt. I'm gonna cut along this circle shape here. Okay, so it looks something like this, and then you can kind of clean it up later by cutting it closer. But since this is gonna be the back side, it doesn't matter too much. Like, you don't need it to be like the nicest looking thing, because you know, for the pin, the only thing you're gonna see is the front, really. But I'll clean it up slightly. Okay. So now for the very last step, all we need to do is attach the pin to the back. Okay, with the super glue, again, let's squeeze out a tiny piece. It should look like almost like a bean, and we're gonna apply it right in the center. It's better to do a little bit more than less, because you want to make sure you have enough amount. Right here you can see it's almost like round in the center, and now you can just grab your pin here and kind of press on top of it. I think you can kind of see, once I put down that pin, you're gonna see like the excess amount just surrounding that pin. You might want to kind of use your thumb and maybe index finger to kind of hold it in for, you know, a couple of seconds. Just make sure they touch. And after that, you're gonna kind of leave it for a couple of hours so that it completely dried. At this point, make sure to not put this backing on just yet, because that might come out, and if the glue hasn't dried yet and if you put the backing on, you're gonna see like this area kind of turn to white color because that metal is getting too close to the pin. You want to avoid that. Just make sure it's completely dry first before you put the backing on. Yeah, so once the pin has dry, you know, you feel free to put this backing right on. So that's how it should look. You know, like the pin shouldn't be moving at all. You see here? Okay, so that's the end of our tutorial. If you like this tutorial, please give me a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comment what tutorial you would like to see next. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.